Hey friends, welcome back to the channel. My name is Mansa, and y'all, today's video I'm gonna be showing you how to use a box cake mix and turn it into this delectable peanut butter chocolate poke cake. Yes, baby, you heard me right. So delicious. Who would have ever thought chocolate and peanut butter would pair so beautifully? Let's get into it. Okay, so we're gonna start off with a large bowl and we're gonna do dry ingredients. Of course, you're gonna need a box cake mix, and you guys would already know my favorite is Duncan Hines, and I have the Devil's Food cake mix, which is a chocolate cake, and I also have the dark chocolate fudge cake mix. You can use any of these, but I just decided to do the devil's food cake. The ingredients are the same. So whether you use one or the other, it's going to be the same ingredients that you would need per to get this recipe right. So what I'm gonna do is just run this through my sifter because the chocolate cake mix tends to have a lot more lumps than some of the other mixes from Duncan Hines. So just to get it more airy and lump free and just make a mixing process a lot easier, I'm just gonna go ahead and sift that, and as you can see, there were quite some big lumps in there. So I'll just go in with my spatula and break them up and then just continue sifting. This just gets the job done. So simple, so easy. Now, the second dry ingredient we're going to be using today, you need some instant chocolate pudding mix. And this is the 3.4 ounce pack. And this is the brand that I always like to use, this Jello brand. But just make sure that it's instant pudding no matter what brand you're using. So I went in and added that to my cake mix and just go in with a whisk and just combine everything together. Those are our dry ingredients, just two, and we're going to put that on the side and move on to our wet ingredients. So in another bowl, I am going to start off with some eggs. Now, the recipe calls for 3 eggs, and most of the time you will see me add an extra egg, but I am not adding an extra egg this time, and I'll tell you why, and it's going to come out just as perfect. So going in with my whisk just to, break up those yolks and all of that, whisk that really good. And the recipe on the back of the box calls for half a cup of vegetable oil. I am going to add just that because vegetable oil is really important for chocolate cakes. Oils in general make your chocolate cake really, really moist. Now, I am going to add an extra 1/4 cup of melted unsalted butter. The butter adds more flavors while the oil will bring it more of that moisture, okay? So now to replace the cup of water, I'm going to be using 1 cup of buttermilk at room temperature. We already know we are not doing water at all. And this is the reason why I did not add an extra egg. Next, I'm going to be adding about 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract to bring in all those flavors together. And just go ahead and combine it with my whisk. Now you will realize that because I'm using buttermilk, this mixture is going to get thick and so will the batter, but do not worry, that's where all the moisture and the deliciousness is going to come from. Now it is time to combine our dry and wet ingredients together, and by this time please make sure that you're preheating your oven at 350 degrees Fahrenheit because this just takes a few minutes and you're done. Now going in with my hand mixer, I am just following the instructions on the back of the box, which is to beat this on low speed for 30 seconds and then on medium high speed for an additional 2 minutes. So that's all I'm doing here. This is the only time I follow the instructions on the back of the box for the most part. Again, all the ingredients I used today will be listed below. I will have the direct link to on the website for this particular recipe, and feel free to check out the website for more recipes. Now you can see my batter is super thick. You can see that from my beaters. Now it is time to bake. I am using a 9x13 baking pan, and I'm going to use some pan baking spray, which already contains flour, to just lightly coat that and go in with my silicone brush to distribute that. This batter is so thick, y'all. It's almost like a pound cake batter, and that is all because of the buttermilk that we used instead of like a lighter version like just ordinary whole milk. But don't you fret, it's gonna come out just fine and it's gonna be airy just the way we want it. So once we get that all in, level it out as much as possible, and then we're gonna bake at 350 degrees Fahrenheit for about 30 minutes or until a toothpick inserted in the middle comes out dry. And here we go. This is out of the oven right now. You will see that the sides of the cake will begin to pull away from the pan towards the middle. This is an indication that you're done. So let it cool down for about 10 minutes and we move on to the next step. We're gonna make our peanut butter mixture using only 2 ingredients, creamy peanut butter and sweetened condensed milk. Now I am using Jif, but feel free to use any creamy peanut butter of your choice. The key word here is creamy, okay? So because it's easier to blend it. So I'm gonna pour in 1 can. This is a 14-ounce can of condensed milk, the sweetened one. And we're just gonna combine these 2 ingredients. This is gonna be what we would pour over this cake, because remember, this is a poke cake. So my cake just came out of the oven. While it's gonna rest for about 10 minutes, I'm just gonna go ahead and combine this, and this is what we're working with. Now let me tell you, this mixture right here, try not to eat all of it. It was so good, so delicious. So now our cake has rested for about 10 minutes. I'm gonna go ahead with the back of my wooden spoon to poke holes all over the cake. This will allow the cake to just absorb all of that peanut butter mixture that we just made, and it would penetrate in there. And just make sure that you're not going deep onto the bottom of the cake, okay? Just going about 2/3 of the way so that you're not, poking all the way through. And once we get those pokes into this cake, as you can see, the cake is still hot, by the way, which is what you want. We're gonna go ahead and pour in all of our peanut butter mixture. Okay, you would see that it's really thick, and this is because of the condensed milk that we use, but it's okay. The cake will still absorb what it can, and then the rest will just form like a layer on the top of the cake, which is just extra deliciousness. And here is a cake. You can see that it's already starting to absorb that peanut butter mixture. So we're going to let this sit down and cool all the way down to room temperature. You can even put it in your refrigerator. In the meantime, I'm going to make the last layer on the top. Here I have 1/4 cup of creamy peanut butter. And to that, I am just going to try to soften it up a little bit more, and I will be adding 1 8-ounce pack of Cool Whip. If you don't want to use Cool Whip, feel free to make your own whipped cream and use 8 ounces of it. But you guys already know we like to keep it super simple, super easy. And besides, Cool Whip is delicious, in my opinion. So we're going to dump in the whole 8-ounce tub in there and just mix it. That's all. The peanut butter and the Cool Whip is going to form the top layer of this beautiful cake. This is my mixture. It is already done, and as you can see, it is still light and foamy. Now it is time to put everything together. Now my cake has been resting and it is now cool. Now I am gonna go ahead and just dump the Cool Whip mixture on the top. As you can see, it has just formed this nice crust over the top with the condensed milk, and y'all, it is so delicious. Let me tell you, it is so good. Try it. Do not take my word for it. Try it and let me know. Now I'm just gonna go ahead and spread that evenly over the top of the cake. And then when it comes to toppings, feel free to just, experiment with it. Now for me, I am gonna be using some Reese's peanut butter, the minis. Now I went in and cut them up into quarters, so I cut them into 4. They're really tiny, so you could just cut it in the middle if you want. So this is how mine looks like. I cut them into 4 pieces, and y'all, it just added that extra touch of chocolate and peanut butter for this cake right here. I also went on and drizzled some Hershey's chocolate syrup and also some caramel syrup on it, and even added some extra peanut butter on the top. And this is what it looks like, y'all. Can't nobody tell me nothing. This is just so delicious. Now at this point, I'm just gonna top it off with my chopped Reese's mini peanut butter cups, and that was it. It is done. You can just refrigerate it at this point until you are ready to serve your family or your guests, your loved ones, whoever you are making this cake for. Now of course, I'm gonna have to cut into it so we all see what we're working with. This right here, like I said, if you get to try it, please tag me on Instagram or Facebook. My handle is also Mansa Queen, just as the name of the channel. And y'all, can you see how soft this is? It is so delicious. Let's just get into it right here. And the layers were so perfect. It gave me the right amount of peanut butter and a chocolate at the same time. And the cake itself was so moist, super soft, and I am loving it. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, give your girl a thumbs up. I would appreciate it. Feel free to share my videos with your friends and family. Tell them to come join this beautiful family where we have so much fun cooking and, just saving time for ourselves. Again, I appreciate each and every one of you. And until I catch you in my next one, y'all stay safe. Bye.